Hello everybody, this is the Get Plays Games and welcome back to Crossout 101. Today we're gonna cover the in-depth stats of shotguns. And this list of course are going to be, wrong button. We got our Lupara, we got the Sledgehammer, Goblin, Spitfire, Thunderbolt, and of course the Hammerfall. Okay, first starting off with our common one, the Lupara. The Lupara deals 23.04 damage per shot at 360 power score and 3 energy drain. Has 63 points of structure and 68 kilograms of mass. Its knockback on the enemy one hitting is 154 points. 154 points is very low. For example, Reaper does have some decent impact, and that one has 1600. Well, for example, let me take a look at this list for a moment. Where is it? Most of these weapons actually do not even have an impact impulse, but it's very low. It's hardly noticeable, but you can, in theory, knock back some targets with these. That said, the gun has a rate of fire of 220 points, optimal range of 20 meters, and a maximum range of 100 meters. Compared to the old machine guns, which had a 75 meter optimal range and a 300 meter maximum range, this is much shorter. However, of course, even though it almost has half of the rate of fire as, for example, Chord, which is 400, it deals 23 damage instead of 3.5, which is much higher. So yeah, the shotguns are much powerful. You also of course have to consider the fact that the Chord is 2 and the Lupara is 3 energy, which does decrease the effectiveness of the Lupara, but it's still much more powerful at the cost of range. That said, it has a cooling time of 2.6 seconds, meaning that if you add a weapon cooler, you are gonna bring it down to 1.3 with this one, which is pretty fast. Also has a recoil of shot of 900. Its damage per second is 24.31, which is over double that of the Hornet, but around 1.8 times the damage of the Chord, so it's only slightly higher in DPS per energy point, but you will notice that difference. Its accuracy rating is 0.3. The accuracy rating is basically the lower this is, the lower the spread of the weapon. That means if this is lower, you have a better general accuracy. And it's pretty funny because most of these shotguns actually have better accuracy than the machine guns. But that is because if you're gonna compare them for the shotgun, if you shoot, it always has the same accuracy. It will not grow or grow smaller. The Chord, if you tap fire, it's pretty accurate. It's much more accurate than, of course, a shotgun. But if you fire like this continuously, it's gonna become less accurate than a actual shotgun. I'm gonna put my little boys back in here. Just give me a moment. Thank you. Anyway, back to the list. To the Lupara. The Lupara, actually that's it for the Lupara. We're gonna go on to the Sledgehammer. The Sledgehammer does 27.65 damage per hit at 555 power score. That's 87 points of structure, 3 energy drain as well, and 54 kilograms of mass. Its knockback on the enemy is 184. It has the same rate of fire at 220. That's an optimal range of 20 as well, and a maximum range of 100, which is all the same. Although this one actually I was wrong. The cooling time is is 2.6 here. Sorry, I was thought I was set 2.2 instead of 2.6, but I said 2.6 on the wheelbarrow as well. So yeah, that actually is right. Anyway, it has a recoil of 900 points. Its DPS rating is 29.17, which is pretty good for a rare weapon. It's higher than the Vector, but actually lower than the Defender. And this is pretty interesting because the Defender has a higher DPS even than a Spitfire, according to the charts. So that's in theory, that is. But that said, the accuracy rating of the actually all shotguns is 0.3. So again, for the sledgehammer, 0.3. Next up is our Goblin. The Goblin is a bit of an awkward one because you cannot aim the gun, but you can use it for ramming damage. As damage per shot is 24.77. It's only using 2 energy points, 120 points of structure, which is much tougher than the sledgehammer, although not the stuff of the Spitfire. 90 kilograms of mass and 370 power score, which is also lower than the other ones. Rate of fire 220 as well. Same range at 20 and optimal and 100 maximum. Cooling time is 2.6 seconds as well. And it has a recoil of 900 and also an accuracy rating of 0.3. Its DPS is 26.13 damage per second. Next up is the Spitfire. Spitfire deals quite a lot of damage at 31.68 damage per hit, which is almost as high as the Thunderbolts. It also has a higher impulse rating than the other ones so far, at 192. Where it has a higher rate of fire than the other guns at 250. Optimal range is 20, maximum range 100. It also has a longer cooling time at 3 full seconds. That's the cost of this thing. Also 555 power score, 3 energy, 163 points of structure, and 126 kilograms of mass. Its recoil is also 900, so that is the same. Its DPS is 31.21. Same accuracy rating at 0.3. Next up is our Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt deals 33.87 damage. As said, not that much lower than the Spitfire. It's not that much higher, I mean. Its knockback on the enemy is 226. Rate of fire is 220 again. Same optimal and maximum range at 20 and 100. Cooling time again 2.6 seconds. This thing is 940 power score, 139 points. 139 points of structure, 4 energy drain, 90 kilograms of mass. Its special perk is that for every 40 meters the vehicle traverses, the damage of the next shot increases by 25%. This stacks up to 4 times. So in theory, this thing can fire a shot that deals over 67 damage for one shot. That means that you can, in theory, shoot a Lupara off in one shot. Although you won't make it with a Vector. If you have 2 of these, however, you can get around 120, 130. You can shoot off a Sledgehammer one shot, Vector in one shot, Rapier questionable, but you probably still manage it. Actually, it's gonna be over 130 actually. Whirlwinds will survive, Fatman will survive, Executioner will survive. Thunderbolt, you might be able to shoot off a Thunderbolt in one shot then. You can definitely shoot off an Equalizer in one shot. Same with Spectre. You can just shoot those 2 off in just one single shot. Cricket might survive a single shot, Pyre will not. Lancelots will, of course, will not either. Finally, let's check some of the legendaries. I actually think you can shoot off a Hurricane. Hurricane off in just 2 shots, so boom boom, and the Hurricane is gone. If you, of course, charge up. And after that, you're gonna need 3 more shots for the second one, if he has a second one. So yeah, those things, especially if you have 3 of them, they're gonna hit at almost 200 damage in a single hit. Just boom, 1 click, 3 of the shots. It has a very high burst alpha damage. which is very, very nice. That said, it has a recoil of 900 as well, same accuracy rating of 0.3, and a DPS of 35.74, not accounting for the perk. And finally, we got our Hammerfall. Hammerfall being 5 energy, so after going from 3, 3, 3, and a 2 even here, you go to 4 and then immediately to 5, so it does have a very high energy rating, but it deals 41.78 damage per shot, at knockback of 279, rate of fire 220, auto range 20, maximum range 100, a cooling time of 2.6 seconds. It has a 221 points of 221 hit points, a power score of 1625, 5 energy, cost 900 recoil, 0.3 accuracy rating, and a DPS of 44. Also, all the shotguns have a fire sequence of 4 shots before overheating. So that is of course not accounting for a some kind of radiator, but if you fire these, you can fire 4 shots with every single one of them before overheating. Also, this is actually something I missed on the other machine guns, so I'm going to quickly cover the machine guns for this as well. I didn't really understand this stat, so I actually left it out, but now I understand what it actually means. First off, we got our Hornet. The Hornet can shoot for 20 rounds before overheating. Then we got everything from the Short, Vector, Defender, Spectre, and Caucasus. Those all can fire 25 shots before overheating. Of course, the Caucasus will not overheat because it only fires a few shots before letting itself cooling down again. But the Equalizer can fire 50 shots before overheating. And the, where is it? The Reaper, there it is, can fire 60 shots before overheating. Of course, these the Gatling guns have a longer cooldown time of 4 and 5 seconds, respectively. But yeah, they can fire actually for pretty long. But yeah, that said, that was the informational video for the shotguns. I hope you guys all enjoyed. It actually took me a while to find my spreadsheet back with all the intel on this. I will put this link down below. I do want you to understand that this is a translation from Russian. I know I did not make this spreadsheet myself. Actually, I got it from a buddy of mine, and he translated it. But some of the translations are kind of awkward. For example, the hammerfall is called the Molotovy, and the thunderbolt is called just thunder, and the Spitfire is even called Harf. The power being called cutoff. It's kind of weird to understand the translations, but that said, I want to thank you guys all for watching. I will soon do another episode for this, and that said, I will see you guys all later. Bye bye.